We all ready? Today, I guess we can begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, Pastor West had said so.
Oh,
Asked
really?
and she wants to observe,
Observe.
right? But Wanda, you're welcome to come up here if you'd like to. Okay. So you can see, it's a packed house today.
Yes.
Very controversial. So we have an agenda here that Wes has prepared for us. I'd like to,
I make a motion that we approve the agenda for the Historical Landmark Commission dated May 28th, 2024.
I second.
all approve?
Aye.
Aye, me too. The minutes attached from the last time we met, March 26, 2024. We looked at certificate of appropriateness by Clayton Small to replace garage windows, doors, and siding shingles at 116 Ocean Boulevard. Wes, did that ever go further? Was there anything else that needed to be done with that?
No, ma'am, not at the moment. As far as I know, the applicant hasn't said anything about any other work. I think he's already demoed and taken out the doors.
Okay,
I don't think he hasn't obtained a permit yet to do the remaining work,
right.
which is fine. He can do the demo without, as approved by the COA, he could remove the doors and everything. But I think he was waiting for the decision to be approved today to move forward with the permits.
Okay. So we need to make a decision for him today.
So, yeah, so
Under
first, the minutes first, and then the written decision is later on the agenda.
Okay. Let me ask you, in the past, when we've approved stuff, it went to a town council meeting. After that, will that,
So you all approved the minutes and that's done. And on the order, the decision that's under old business for COA 2401, you all are the decision maker for certificates of appropriateness.
okay,
Whereas the landmark designation application for 13 Skyline, you all are advisory. So
okay,
you all make a recommendation to council on the application for designation of 13 Skyline, but the COA, you all were the decision maker.
okay, perfect. I was just curious. So do we have a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from the March 26, 2024 meeting of the Historical Landmark Commission.
I'll second it.
All approved?
Aye.
Any public comment? So in old business, we are looking at the approval for Clayton Small's house at 116 Ocean Boulevard.
Yes, ma'am. This is called the order. It's the written decision that you all, it has the findings in it. That you all heard the application, that you found that it was, the proposed work is congruous with the special character of the landmark. The proposed work complies with the commission's currently adopted principles and guidelines. And the work was considered rehabilitation.
Do I ask for a motion?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm asking for a motion to approve the order, the work to be done at Clayton Small's house.
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the order granting certificate of appropriateness for 116 Ocean Boulevard after the public hearing that we had on March 26, 2024.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, new business, we're here to consider the Town of Southern Shores application for 13 Skyline Road as a historic landmark.
Yes, ma'am. So you all, in your packets, you received some documents. Those include the application submitted by the town to designate 13 Skyline Road as a historic landmark. There's also an architectural description prepared by Chris Nason, architect. And there's also the letter from the North Carolina State Historic Preservation Office with their comments on the designation. I can just go through some of the highlights in the application. And obviously, if there's a image of the east elevation on the screen, you all included in your packets, there was a picture from each elevation. And this being with the most recent changes that have been made by the police department. So the reason for the request is that in 2023, the town purchased the 1953 flat top located at 13 Skyline Road, in large part to prevent the loss of another historic property. This purchase can be seen as evidence of the town's desire and commitment to historic landmarks. It only seems logical for the town to request that the structure be designated a historic landmark. And I wanted to clarify on page 2 of the application, in item number 6, it says classification, structure, object, or site. And structure and site are both checked. However, we are only requesting designation of the structure only, meaning that if you all recommend that it be designated and the council does designate it, then if any exterior changes were to ever be proposed to the structure only, they would have to, depending on the scope of work, they would have to obtain a certificate of appropriateness from either you all or from town staff. So if we ever wanted to put a shed on the property, we would not have to obtain a certificate of appropriateness because this only applies to the exterior of the structure.
Okay.
The structure was constructed as a single-family dwelling in 1953, and it was converted into an office after it was gifted to the Outer Banks Community Foundation in 2007. The structure has been modernized and upgraded over the years, including recent upgrades so that the structure can be used as a single-family dwelling again. The structure is a prime example of the flat top inspiration that Frank Stick brought to Dare County in the late 1940s. After World War II, Frank Stick acquired an option on a 2,800-acre tract north of Kitty Hawk for $30,000. In the process of Mr. Stick building his own home, he creates a new vernacular architectural form, the flat top. The flat top was adapted for its barrier island setting from the single-story flat-roofed block houses of Florida. To those design elements, Frank Stick added an extended overhang and a bright whitewashed exterior. These features alone deflect the sun and intense heat, which makes these homes a cool relief during the hot and humid summer months. The exposed soffits and storm shutters were painted in brilliant shades of crimson, jade, emerald, and sapphire, introducing color to an otherwise monochromatic Outer Banks landscape. Flat top homes have plumbing and drain lines that are buried in the sand that have been covered by concrete and sealed. Frank Stick's flat top homes were second homes, which were designed so that middle-income families could enjoy the same amenities as wealthier clients. As the real estate market fluctuated, site plans for Southern Shores were made, discharged, adopted, and abandoned during the early years of the community. The flat top houses become the idiom around 1965 when they become the predominant local landform. And again, in 2023, the town of Southern Shores purchased the 1953 flat top. Not too long thereafter, the town council directed town staff to put this application together to designate the structure at 13 Skyline Road. And again, this purchase can be seen as evidence of the town's desire and commitment to historic landmarks. So that was highlights. They were highlights from the application. You also have the report that was put together by town staff. It contains the same information found in the application. And again, you have the architectural description from Chris Nason and the letter from the State Historic Preservation Office In the letter, they did actually, they refer to some recommended revisions to make to the report, which we did. And they included those recommendations in an email and not in the text found in the letter. And I incorporated those recommended changes to the report, which basically consisted of a little bit more information about Frank Stick, as well as the number of flat tops that were here at one time, around that number, and the number of flat tops that we have today. So that concludes my highlights of the packets. If you all have any questions, I can try to answer them at this time. And again, you all are in this capacity with the Historic Landmarks Commission. You all are acting as an advisory body to the town council. You all would make a recommendation to designate or not to designate the structure at 13 Skyline Road. The town council is scheduled to hold a public hearing next Tuesday at 5:30. Well, the meeting will begin at 5:30 p.m. next Tuesday, and on the agenda is consideration to designate 13 Skyline Road.
Wes, I have something that I'd like to add, and actually add maybe to your official packet. Just for clarification, in looking at the survey, as you know, the property extends onto Stone's property. You received on September 21st, 2023, an encroachment easement certificate. And I have that here. And I think it would be good to place it in the record. So in the future, if anything comes up, the certificate of easement is actually in that particular file that's submitted to the town council and placed in our record here. And I do have it. It's block 2701. I have a copy of it in front of me if you need it. I just thought it would be a good idea to have the instrument placed in the file for future reference if something ever comes up.
I would have no objections to that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree.
If you want to pass it down.
That's a good idea.
I did not make copies for everybody. I apologize.
Does it actually encroach on his property or just over the setback?
No, onto his property. That's why the town got the certificate for, but the community foundation could not get it when they spoke to him.
Okay, I see.
So I don't know whether you marked that as an exhibit, Wes, or just an addition. I'm not sure.
I'll add it to the packet of information and include it with the council's packets as well.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look on the survey, it's in page 8 of the
Right.
report. And it shows encroaching area 2,198 square feet. And yes, the town did obtain, there is an easement that has been recorded for that.
So the next step would be to approve the application.
You all would be making a recommendation to the
Making a
town council.
recommendation.
So there would be a motion to recommend designation of 13 Skyline Road to the town council if y'all are inclined to do so.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to
Designate 13 Skyline Road.
designate 13 Skyline Drive as a
Right, yeah.
historic landmark.
Motion to recommend designation of 13 Skyline Road to the town council.
Before we
Exactly.
get to that, could I ask one question? And I've read it, but I can't find it in here now. I think there were some windows that were added when they did some updates to the house, and they don't quite match. Is that right? Am I looking in the right file?
Yeah, so in the application, we list the upgrades, modernizations that were made. The police department did most of the work. Yeah, it's on, it's under section C, architectural significance. And it's also in the report. It's probably easier to find in the report. I can give you the page number. Yeah, page 3, second paragraph. With respect to windows. Don't see windows mentioned in that part. That would be the only area in the report that would.
Okay, I don't know, I must have had it confused with the other COA. Thought I saw that.
So I'll second the motion to recommend
What he said.
approval to the
Thank you.
town council.
And then we'll just need the vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you. And again, the town council, they'll hold a public hearing next Tuesday. Meeting begins at 5:30 PM.
What is that, June 4th, 3rd?
Yes, June 4th.
Any comments from anybody?
Is there anything in the pipeline, Wes?
No, sir. Don't have any applications pending at the moment.
I know that my neighbor across the
on here.
open space from me
Sorry?
has
on.
expressed
Okay.
wanting to do it.
Yeah.
But she just hasn't pulled the trigger yet. She's on Skyline. And we're in the flat top. I don't know the number, but
There's a one-page thing here that talks about the colors are predominantly white with horizontal zip of teal. Blah, 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 blah. It appears that the front and back screen porches have been filled and closed as the window style does not match the other ones. I didn't know if there are any needs to try and get the windows consistent. I'm not familiar with which ones they're talking about. There's some pictures that seem to have double hung windows and then triple.
Yeah, I've just received information that the town has not replaced any of the windows, so it must have been done by the Community Foundation.
Okay,
But if and when the town does elect to replace windows and make them consistent, assuming that it would take place after it's designated, we'll have to come to you all for approval to do that.
okay.
sounds good.
Doesn't need to be noted or brought to their attention.
I don't think so, no, sir.
Okay.
The safeguards are in place for any future replacement. Any announcements, any comments, any other comments?
Enjoy the summer.
What's that?
I said enjoy the summer.
Okay. So motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn the Historic Landmark Commission meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Great, thank you all very much.
Short and sweet.